afternoon. We may see some rain showers late this evening as a cold front pushes through with Arctic air blasting in for Monday. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist David Keller on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest's #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. 866-496-8772. That's the number to join us on the program this morning. You can ask a question, make a comment, just be a part of the program. You know, I'll tell you what, if you came in for the solid state upgrade sale that we've had going on this month in March, record setting as far as sales go. This isn't exactly like a holiday special, right? It's not like, wow, it's the most biggest, baddest, most amazing thing ever. Or it's not exactly like an ultimate upgrade sale where it's like, wow, this is a really affordable way to get into a modular computer here. It's something different in the middle that we've never done before. Because, during this special, we put our labor on sale. And as any service business owner could tell you, you never put the labor on sale because that's the meat in the sandwich. Like that's what pays the bills. So if you give away the labor, you don't make a ton of money on the hardware. You don't make a ton of money on the software. You make your profitability on the labor. But here's the thing. Schrock's been around now for 20 years. 20 years this month. And I was thinking about this yesterday. It's been humbling to see the number of computers coming back into the service center. Everybody talks about how the PC is dead and the desktop is dead. And we've kind of been looking at it. You heard me say it during the holiday sale. We sold laptops to desktops almost 2 to 1. So it seems that people are really more interested in laptops now than desktops. I have to tell you, the majority of the computers that came in for the solid state upgrade sale were not laptops. That was really surprising to me. They were desktops. People trying to squeeze another couple years out of that desktop before they have to replace it. And that solid state upgrade was so inexpensive and so affordable with such a huge performance trade-off. What other upgrade could you do to a computer for $150 that gives you 10 times the performance improvement? There isn't one. There's nothing else you could possibly do. It's phenomenal. And so it's been awesome to see, I have callers who call in to the shop and they're like, I have a 2012 holiday special. Do you think it would benefit from this upgrade? And the answer is, heck yeah, it would. Or, hey, I got a solid state in my 2016 holiday special. Do you think it would benefit from this? Well, the solid state technology has come so far in the last few years that absolutely, yes, your computer would benefit. Now, when you're going from a solid state to a faster solid state, you're not going to get a 10 times improvement. The 10 times improvement is the people who are going from the mechanical drives all the way up to the solid state. So this last week, we did a news segment that we're doing on Channel 8 News in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's called Tech Tuesday. Super imaginative name there, but that's how we roll at Schrock. It's Tech Tuesday, okay? So as you might guess, for those of you who are more educated in the audience, this segment airs on Tuesday. And when it does air, it's Tuesday in the 11 o'clock hour if you're in Lincoln and you want to watch it on Channel 8. They're also putting up a whole section for it on their website, actually, over on the Channel 8 News website. But it's a really unique segment. And it was kind of a weird getting to know you stage. I got into the studio. This is kind of behind the scenes stuff. But I got into the studio, and there's two, twisty stools. Like they're chairs. They have armrests on them, and you can spin in them. And I go to get in the stool, and they have a ring on the bottom, like that metal ring. You have a footrest you can step on. And the stools are super tall, and you don't want to mess with the chair height on a TV set, or the set of a TV broadcast, because when you mess with the chair height, you end up either being like a midget or being a giant. The chairs are all set up relative to the cameras, and everything is perfect. You don't want to mess with it. So I go to get into the chair, and I can't get in. It's too tall. Now I'm 5'8", okay? I'm not exactly, I'm not scoring basketball hoops here. But then again, I'm not a real super short guy, but I'm 5'8" and I can't get in the chair. And compared to me, the anchor, I swear he's like 6'4", and he just like steps in there like, it's a comfortable glove for him. And I'm literally like a little kid getting into Dad's chair. I put my hands on the armrest and I jumped up and then scooted into the chair. It was like, oh my gosh. And of course, when you do that, now my feet were dangling. I couldn't touch the metal ring. And so when I jumped into the chair, it naturally just kind of turned a little like that. If you're watching at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, you can see. So now if I'm looking at the camera, I'm very turned and I have nothing. It's like being in space, right? There's nothing to push against. So because I can't touch my feet to anything, I can't touch my hands to anything. So I reach over and I grab the other guy's chair and I pull myself back and I'm like, whoo, I'm great. But then I realized the armrests are ridiculously high. The armrests for the chair are nearly in my armpits. And I have my elbows on the chair, so I'm all scrunched up. And they come into the segment. You can see if you watch this on our Facebook page that at the beginning I'm all scrunched up like me, and then I realized that my shoulders are up over my chin, and you can see me like move my arms off the armrest and relax about 5 seconds in because I realized what I'm doing. And so it was a weird getting to know you kind of segment, but it was about the solid state special, and it wasn't as far as TV promotional segments go, it didn't go off perfectly. We really didn't talk much about the fact that we had them on sale. We talked about the benefit of adding a solid state drive. We talked about how much faster it can make your computer. We talked about how they're 6 times less likely to fail than a regular hard drive is. We talked about all these other things, why the computer slowed down in the first place, all those patches last year in 2018 that slowed everything down. And then I think the only mention we ever had of the sale was, and they're on special at Schrock right now. And then we never got to like a closing part of it where we just didn't have that rhythm down. So it was a good segment, but it just didn't, from a marketing perspective, it was not the kind of segment I would want to have for a sale, right? We received so many leads off that segment. So many customers in Lincoln called the Lincoln Service Center and inquired about the details. How much is it? How will it help my computer? All that stuff. Lots of Apple users, people with iMacs especially. Oh my gosh, if you have an old iMac, you can breathe new life into that thing. We had multiple people with Apple TV, or not Apple TV, the Mac Mini, the mini Apple, the little square thing. They just brought that back this year, by the way. It was pretty popular, but they'd gotten rid of it. But they brought it back. And so the people with the older ones, though, they love these things. And they're like, I can make it faster if I put a solid state in? Absolutely. And we did that for them. So it worked out really well. So I guess what I'm getting at here is this is the final few days of the sale. Because this sale is a difficult one. It was popular, and that's what we wanted. We wanted 12 completely awesome sales this year that are different from things we normally do, just to celebrate the fact that we've been here for 2 decades, for 20 years. Think about what you were doing 20 years ago. It's a fun thought experiment. Like, where were you in your life 20 years ago? Like, what job were you working? Did you have kids? What car were you driving 20 years ago? And you start thinking back to that stuff and you're just like, wow. And you think about, at least I do, 20 years ago where I had no idea what I was doing from a business perspective. It was like, hey, we're going to give great service. We're going to charge a little bit of money for it. I mean, heck, we were providing top shelf service 20 years ago, and we didn't have a preventative maintenance checkup. We had the diagnostics, which is just a terrible name. We're going to do the diagnostics on your computer. And it was $19.99. And it didn't really accurately reflect what a maintenance checkup was, that it actually could improve the computer. It wasn't just a diagnostic procedure. It wasn't just a blood test. It was actually something that could make you healthier. And so we eventually renamed that the preventative maintenance checkup. But yeah, the diagnostics was $20 when we started out. And then we learned our lesson. You don't do free maintenance checkups on special. Oh yeah, we did that one year. We said we're going to do them for free. We had some people bring in some old Tandy stuff. Like, hey, can you take this 1989 Radio Shack computer, this 8086 33 megahertz computer, and make it into like a modern machine for me? No, we can't. No, can you take this VTech Kids computer and make it into a quantum computer? No, we can't. It's pretty much the same thing. You don't want to do that. Pretty sure the VTech computers today have more power than those old Tandys did. So we learned a few lessons along the way, but one of the lessons that they always taught you, or to teach service business people, you don't put your labor on sale because you'll go broke. It's not a good thing to do. This 1 month, we decided to make an exception to the rule in celebration of the actual 20th anniversary, was the 1st of January. So we're gonna put a big one out there, and we did. We've had almost 1,000 people take us up on the solid state upgrade. Can you believe that? Now, our customer database is about 25,000 customers, and we've had almost 1,000 people come in for a solid state upgrade. We have seen, and a lot of them are computers that we have built for people before. So these are customers whose computers have been working fine for years. They haven't had a reason to come in. And all of a sudden they come in, and it just makes you realize that as I get on the radio every week and I talk about our computers and our products and our services, there's a constant need for us to reach new people because we do our job too well. You buy a computer from Schrock and you really do use it for 4, 6, 10 years before you buy a new one, as opposed to an HP or a Dell where you buy it and you're going to use it for about 18 months and you're going to throw it away. Now, some of you who came in for the solid state upgrade, when you came in, you brought in these older Dells and HPs that were built back in the day the way good computers were built. They weren't always, junky, where they're all chip on board and no power supplies and all this other stuff. They weren't always that way. They are now, but they weren't always that way. And so those computers, we can put a solid state hard drive in those things and breathe new life into them. We had a lot of people coming in where they have Windows 7, and we had to have a heart-to-heart with them and say, listen, if you have us do this, now I know that the cost of the hard drive is $150. There's no labor for the cloning or the installation or anything. So you're talking about putting $150 into this computer. It has Windows 7 on it. Windows 7 is dead at the end of this year. You're either going to have to replace the computer at the end of the year or upgrade it to Windows 10. And the free Windows 10 upgrade period is over. So are you sure you want to do this? So even when we have our products on special in an amazing sale and everything in the company is oriented toward talking about this solid state upgrade sale, we're still going to stop and ask the question, is this the right thing to do for this customer at this time? We had people bring in Windows Vista computers. You don't want to do anything on a Windows Vista computer anymore. They're completely dead. They can't be upgraded to Windows 10 very easily. It's just not a good idea. We actually told people that. This week, believe it or not, we actually had to work on a Windows XP computer in the shop. Somebody brought in one. It was running a piece of software that was super important for this business, and they had to have that particular computer fixed. And let's just say we were digging deep in the Papillion Service Center warehouse. I mean, we were lifting shelves and looking for memory that slipped on the floor, maybe, because the stuff that was in there was so incredibly old. So over at Schrock, this past month has been amazing. I want to thank everybody who came in for the solid state upgrade. If you did come and get one, please give me a call on the program this morning, 866-496-8772. 866-496-8772. Give me a call and tell me how it impacted your computer. Because people listening right now, literally, I mean, you guys, this show, I'm looking at the calendar. How many days do we have left? We have 4 days left in this sale at this point, as we air today. There are 4 days left. So if you wanted to do this, your time is nearly up. The time to move is now. And sometimes having people call in who did it, listeners hear me talk about it. They hear me say how great it is and how much it improves the speed. There is no substitute for somebody who actually had it done to their computer, calling into the program and saying, this was amazing. This is something that you should do to your computer. So please give me a call. We'll also get you in the drawing for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate if you were planning on coming in for that sale. We're open on Saturday from 10 in the morning till 8 in the evening. It's Sunday from noon to 5. So we're open today from noon to 5. You can bring that computer into any one of the 3 service centers. Just drop it off. We have the solid state drives in stock. We've been buying so many solid state drives now that I'm not joking, nationwide, they are now quantity limiting purchases of solid state hard drives. They're limiting the purchase to 3 drives per customer per day. Probably because we've been buying a lot of solid state drives. We did 1,000 drives almost this month, guys. I mean, that's all. When you think about it, most shops will sell 1 solid state drive to a customer. Or if maybe you're a computer repair shop, we'll go through 5 or 10 or 15 a month. But 1,000 in a month, that creates shortage. That means they don't have enough drives to sell, the onesies and twosies customers that want to come buy a drive. So literally, we've got a situation where where they've quantity limited us. So if you want to take advantage of it, you've got a few days left. If not, that's totally cool. If you're happy with your computer, you're not too concerned about the speed, that's fine. But if you want to do this, got to get into the service center in the next few days. Now, I know there are some of you, for whatever reason, life has gotten in the way. You can't come in because maybe maybe you just had a medical procedure done, and you can't pick up your computer. We've had some calls about that. Maybe you can't come in because childcare or work situations, or you're out of town right now. You're traveling. You go south for the winter. So here's what we've done over at SchrockInnovations.com. Many of our listeners will be familiar with this procedure. It's the same way we do our maintenance checkup certificates. It's the same way that we do the safe upgrade licenses. You can go to SchrockInnovations.com and you can go to Shop and Specials, and you can purchase the upgrade that you want for your computer. There are 3 different sizes of upgrades. They start at $150, they go up to $250. If you don't know which one you need, because it's based on capacity. It's based on how much space you use. If you don't know what you need, just call us in the shop. We'll help you figure it out right over the phone. It just takes a second, and we'll help you figure it out. But give us a call if you want. But otherwise, you can go on the website. You just buy the biggest one. Buy the 480. It's going to be the one you probably want anyway. The most popular one has been the 240, the mid-range one. Most people don't want the 120 because they're afraid they're going to run out of space. And some people don't want the 480 because they feel like that's too much space for them. So the 240 has been pretty popular. But if you have a doubt, just get the biggest one. It's only a $50 price difference to go to the biggest one. So if you have a doubt, get the biggest one. But you can do that on the website today, and then that certificate is good for 6 months. So you can come in anytime in the next 6 months and basically have us install that solid state in your computer for you. So there we go. Trying to make life easy for you. We have a great sale going on, and we're trying to make it easy for you to take part in the sale if that's something that you want to do. 866-496-8772. Got to take our first break of the program, but Gene, your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone? Back up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. And now Compute This pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier. So take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We have 3 locations if you want to take advantage of this solid-state upgrade special. The Lincoln location is on the corner of 27th and Pine Lake Road. In Omaha, 168th and Burke. And also in Papillion, 84th and Highway 370 over in Midlands Place there. 866-496-8772. Gene, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yeah, good morning. Actually, this isn't Jean. This is her husband. She's busy.
Oh, no worries.
We got a laptop from you guys, and she did have the hard drive put in here a while ago, and she just loves it. She says it's really made a difference in it. So
Awesome. So yeah, that's while we were in the break here, we actually had a comment from Art. He had one of the Mac Minis that we did the upgrade on, and he actually timed it out. And he said the boot time on his 2014 Mac Mini. So this computer, this is what, 5-year-old computer, was a 2.5-minute boot time.
Oh, really?
And the solid state upgrade reduced it to 22 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, she really likes it, so she gets it up there, and it's a lot faster. You should had to wait on it for a while, but no, did a good job on it.
Well,
really
awesome.
Liked it.
Well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it, Mr. Gene. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for calling us on the program. We also have Jean and her husband in the drawing for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. A day late, dollar short there because they've already been in, obviously. But, there's always a February special coming too. 12 great specials all year long. All right, next up is Steve. Welcome to the program, Steve. How can I help you on Compute This today?
I've got a Dell Inspiron laptop.
Okay.
I think it's a 1540 model. It won't boot up, and I've been told that the hard drive has gone bad. Will this new solid state, will that remedy that?
Actually, yeah. Well, it's a solid state hard drive. So the hard drive, the way that the sale works, there's a bunch of asterisks and stuff. Since we only had 4 days left, I didn't spend a ton of time on it. But the sale is for transferring from a healthy hard drive to another healthy hard drive. The less healthy, the more bad your hard drive gets, the harder the transfer becomes. And so there is going to be an hour of labor to transfer your drive over. It normally is 2 hours, so you're getting a discount for the sale, but there's a second hour of labor to do that transfer because your drive is currently in a failure state. And then what we're going to do is once we get the solid state cloned over, sometimes if we can get a perfect clone of a bad hard drive, we can still get it to boot. Otherwise, that we might have to do some additional repair work to get that operating system to boot again. But basically, in your case, what you've got is a bad piece of hardware. The hard drive is bad. It's not working properly. It needs to be replaced. Now, whether you replace that with another mechanical hard drive or a solid state drive is completely up to you. But given the fact that they're on sale and given the fact they're 6 times less likely to fail and the fact that they're about 10 times faster than the mechanical drives, we're talking about a $50 price difference in the cost of the drive between a mechanical and a solid state for your laptop. I would get the solid state.
But I guess my question is, if I come in and get that $150 deal that you got going, will it just work again? I don't have much stuff stored on it.
Right. Honestly, I can't tell you. I can't say yes, Steve. It's going to work perfectly once we get the solid state in there, because what we have to do to make it work perfectly is we have to get a perfect copy of everything that's on that old failing hard drive and put it on the solid state. Now, if you don't have anything on that drive that you want to have copied over, if there's nothing on there you need, well, yeah, then absolutely it'll work perfectly, because we're going to put the new hard drive in, install Windows on it, and get all your basic software like Flash and Java and Adobe Reader and all that installed. And then you're good to go with effectively a brand new computer. It'll be just like the day you took it out of the box, except 10 times faster. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Will the email and stuff be there?
Well, like I said, it depends if you need us to transfer stuff over. So if you have stuff on the old drive you want to keep, then we have to transfer it. And whether or not it will just magically boot after we transfer it depends on how good of a transfer we can get off of the bad drive. Most people don't replace hard drives until they start showing symptoms of failure. That's why we created Drive Advisor. It's a free program you can download. Drive Advisor at Drive Advise ER, advisor like American. DriveAdvisor.com. You can download that, install it on your computer, and it tells you when your hard drive is starting to fail. Because most of these failures are gradual. So your drive's probably been failing for some time, but it's just getting bad enough now that you're noticing the symptoms of that. And as you notice the symptoms, then you bring it in because, hey, it's not working. And at that point, we have symptoms. The drive is not able to recall information properly. And now we're trying to try to copy everything off the drive onto a new drive. You can see how that might be problematic. That's why there's a second hour of labor there, because sometimes it takes multiple attempts. Sometimes we have to do some diagnostic work on the drive first, and then sometimes we just can't. But basically, the thing to do is if you bring that into the service center, we can go ahead and take a look at it and get you a quote for doing it. We can check it in under the special. We'll authorize the 1 hour of labor for the clone of the bad drive, and then we'll go ahead and give it a whirl. Now, if we can't clone it and you decide if I can't have the information off the old one, I don't want to do it, you don't owe us any money. We're not going to charge you for work you don't want us to do. But on the other hand, if you want that computer up and running again, the solution is to put a new hard drive in there. And once you put the new hard drive in, it should be good to go.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. 866-496-8772. Roger would like to thank Roger for the better bumper music this morning. So there we go. We've had a compliment of your bumper music selection, Roger.
I'm humbled.
All right, 866-496-8772. Also, if you want to watch live, the show is live on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. All righty. My Mac Pro 2009 has a solid state. I'm running the 2018 operating system, and boot time is 15 seconds. Definitely worth the upgrade. The comments are coming in there on Facebook as well. All right. So before we take our bottom of the hour break, we do have some stories to cover this morning as well. It's not all just about selling stuff here. We got to keep you educated too, right? All right. So new ransomware poses as a game and other software to trick you into downloading it. What to watch out for there so you don't get your computer infected. Lots of infection news this morning. It's almost like someone's trying to scare you. Malvertising campaign. Now, malvertising is when there's an ad, but the ad itself is malware. This is the reason we made Secure Updater, so you don't fall for malvertising stuff. Malvertising campaign targets Apple users with malicious code hidden in images. This is new. Apple users have not typically been targeted by malvertising. We're going to tell you if you have a Mac, you want to definitely stay tuned for that segment coming up here on the program. How can you stream the Super Bowl? This has been a popular, like every year, it's like a big story. How do you stream the Super Bowl? This year, it's actually stupid easy. We're going to tell you how to stream the Super Bowl to your TV. If you have rabbit ears, I mean, you can pick up the Super Bowl. But if you want to stream it to your smartphone or your tablet or a smart TV somewhere else in the house, we're going to tell you exactly how to do that today. Also, not to rain on anybody's parade here or anything, but April's coming. Why is April important? Well, April is the month when Microsoft will be releasing their next big upgrade. Woo! Yeah, this is going to be build 1903. It's supposed to be ready and finished in testing in March for an April deployment, which would be fantabulous because the last two have been late. We're going to tell you what to expect and when it's going to come and how it's going to impact you coming up next. Also, if you are a smartphone budget buyer, Samsung's got a cool phone for you too. All that and more coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. You guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. Police in Louisiana are hunting for a killer. They believe 21-year-old Dakota Terrio killed his parents Saturday as well as his girlfriend and 2 others.
We received information from the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office that they were currently working a triple homicide there. After speaking with the detectives for quite a while, we come to realize that these 2 cases indeed may be related.
Ascension Parish Sheriff Bobby Weber, up to 20 are dead, at least 80 injured by a pair of bombs that blew up inside a cathedral in the southern Philippines.
The 2 bombs went off during the Sunday Mass service on the island of Sulu, which is in the southern part of the Philippines. Now, the first blast actually went off inside the cathedral, presumably targeted at the Catholic worshippers. The second went off in the car park, possibly aimed at the authorities as they came in to try and respond to the attack.
Siobhan Robbins of Sky News, no one's claimed responsibility. This is Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
A cold start with a few snow showers across the area. Those will move out by mid-morning. Temperatures slowly climbing into the 30s by late in the day, up to 38 by midnight. A few showers possible as a cold front blows through. By midnight, temperatures falling to 16 degrees by 6 a.m. Monday. Cold and windy on Monday. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist David Keller on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All righty, guys. Welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Roger and I are yucking it up in here. Apparently, we have not played the Jimmy John spoof commercial in quite a while because everybody on Facebook loved it. It was like the first time they ever heard it. And that reminds me, you know, what we haven't done in a long time is we haven't cut new commercials. Like, we try to make them funny, but the problem is that those commercials were all cut in a different era when it was okay to be funny. Now you got to be a little more careful when you try to be funny because you're going to offend somebody or trigger somebody or, you know, make somebody mad at you. And it doesn't really matter what you believe or why you believe it. When you're in business, you don't want to make anybody mad at you, right? But you don't want to be milquetoast either. You have to find a pleasant medium there. So maybe I'll see if I can't come up with some new spoofy commercials and get them all cut for you guys to for your entertainment pleasure. 866-496-8772. Ron, you're next up on the show. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hey, Thor, love the show.
Thank you.
My wife's got a MacBook Pro. We want to know, can we put a solid state new disk in that?
It's one of the best upgrades you can do. A new MacBook Pro runs you about $5,000 right now.
Okay, yeah.
So getting a solid state upgrade in an older one can literally make it perform almost as fast as one of the newer MacBooks.
Oh, great. All right, we'll be in touch then and make an appointment and get that thing in. But
sounds good. No appointment required. You just bring it in whenever it's convenient for you.
Oh, super. All right. Thanks a lot.
No problem. We try to keep it easy. Thanks for the call, Ron. Appreciate you listening to the program today. 866-496-8772. Debbie, you're also next up on the program. How can I help you on Compute This morning?
Well, as it turns out, I just heard the answer to my question. My daughter has a MacBook Pro.
Okay.
And I was just wondering if we could do the solid state on her as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The Mac.
Not her, but on the computer.
But yeah, you know, we can't make her any faster. You know, this isn't Jimmy John's, you know. But no, as far as the computer goes, the MacBook Pros are actually really nice computers from a specification standpoint. It was back in the day when Apple was keeping up on the current technology trends that were out there. And the current MacBook Pro, I don't recommend it for most people because literally the 2019 MacBook Pro is actually just as fast, if not a little bit slower, than the 2018 MacBook Pro, even though it has better features. It's because Apple screwed up on the cooling mechanism so it doesn't keep cool enough. So if you have a 2012, 13, 14, 15 MacBook Pro, it has that mechanical hard drive in it. And we can replace that with a solid state. We clone it over for you, and then you're up and running, good to go with a brand new, in essence, a brand new MacBook. I mean, it'll run wicked fast. It's amazing how much faster they run. We love doing it to the max. The clones take a little bit longer, forewarned there, because we have to clone them over USB because Mac doesn't really make a desktop anymore. that has like with a PC, we take the side off and we hook all the wires up and everything is really fast. With a Mac, we have to do all the cloning over USB, and it's inherently slower. So you should see the Franken iMacs that we have in the shop rigged up to make that faster. But no, we can get it done for you, and it's an amazing process. And when it's all done, the computer is so much faster than it is now.
Like, do you have some spaces open in Lincoln? She's down in Lincoln.
Oh yeah,
so.
absolutely. All three service centers are going to get busy here. It's kind of the joke in the service center is, at the very beginning of the sale, it's kind of like an Oreo cookie. At the very beginning, we have all the early adopters that come in, and you get that top cookie. It's a big cookie. And then in the middle, throughout the month, you have people trickling in as they hear about it, or they hear about it from friends. And then that's your cookie goodness in the middle there, that frosting. And then at the end, the procrastinators of the world unite, and they make that bottom cookie for you because it's slam. So in the next 4 days, I would recommend, if she could get it in today, that'd probably give her the best turnaround times. I know they worked some extra hours in all three shops yesterday to get caught back up again, so they have open bench spots. But none of the shops are in queue right now. We've been doing really good keeping up with the upgrades and making sure they get done. But yeah, absolutely. Just have her drop it off whenever it's convenient for her. We're open today, noon to 5. We're open every other day of the week from 10 in the morning till 8 in the evening. So there should be plenty of time for her to swing that in here before the end of the month.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, no worries, Debbie. Thank you. I appreciate your call today. 866-496-8772. Patriots versus Rams, guys. That's the Super Bowl. I saw a funny graphic floating around on Facebook. Who are you cheering for in the Super Bowl, state by state? And I think it looked like one of those conservative voting maps where basically the Eastern Seaboard was all voting for the Patriots, and everybody else except Louisiana was voting for the Rams. And from a Nebraska perspective, I mean, you've got Sue on one team, and you've got Rex Burkhead on the other. I don't know if you guys saw this on the news, but there was a little girl who made some viral video about how much she loves Rex Burkhead, and her mom hung out outside the Patriots training center for hours in frigid temperatures, waiting for them to come out from their morning meeting or whatever. And so Rex Burkhead came out and he saw the girl, and he is such a good guy. He saw this little girl. He recognized her. He came up to her, gave her a hug, and told her how much he loved the video she made, how it was so awesome. He signed her football for her, and literally made this girl's year. And it was one of those things. It didn't cost him anything. It was just a little bit of time, and it's so easy when you make it to the big leagues. When you made it all the way to the NFL and you're going to the Super Bowl. A few years ago you were playing college. Now you're in the Super Bowl. It's so easy to let your head get big and all that. It's just Rexy, right? He just does his thing, and it was amazing to see. So it's hard to know who to cheer for, right? Because it just is. There's Nebraska guys on both sides of the ball. But the question is, how are you going to watch it? Are you going to be able to watch it on CBS? Are you going to be able just to turn on the cable and watch it? Maybe you're going to be on the road or on the go. Maybe you're going to be in the bathroom. How do you watch the game? Well, you can watch it on your mobile devices. So when we come back from the break, we're going to tell you exactly how to watch Super Bowl 2019 Super Bowl on your iPad, Android device, your TV. Even if you don't have rabbit ears, you can still get it streaming. And we're going to tell you exactly how to do that. Also, coming up on the program, Mark and Craig, hang on the line there. Your calls are coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Open drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Service centers in Lincoln, 27th and Pine Lake Road, Omaha, 168th and Burke, and in Papillion, 84th and Highway 370. That almost gave you the old location. That's still vacant, by the way. They should have just given us the rate we wanted. We would have stayed there. Memories. All right, so if you're looking for the solid state upgrade, you got a few days left to do that. You can also go on the website, SchrockInnovations.com, and purchase the size that you need. If you need help figuring out how much space you're using, a lot of people have been confused about this. Like, if I have a 1 terabyte hard drive in my computer, shouldn't I get a 1 terabyte solid state? The answer is no, not necessarily. 120, 240 gigs, 480 gigs. After that, it hockey sticks. So you really don't want to go bigger than a 480 if you don't have to right now. Because the cost literally, like I said, it hockey sticks. It's more expensive. So the question is, how much space are you using right now? The average Schrock customer is using around 80 gigs of space total on their hard drive right now. So for somebody using 80 gigs of space, we probably would not recommend a 120 gig hard drive, because it doesn't give you a lot of room to grow. And the last thing we want to do is upgrade you, give you all this great performance, get you to use the computer for a couple more years, fill up the hard drive, and then have to buy a new one anyway. So we'd probably recommend the 240. It's only $50 more, and it gives you double the space. You have plenty of room to grow now. In same note, if you're around 200 and 210 gigs of data, we're not going to recommend a 240 because it's only $50 more to go to the 480 and get double the space. And then after 480, it's like the 480 is like 250, and then the 1 terabyte is like 400. So it goes up like dramatically at hockey sticks after that. So you don't want to go over that unless you have to. If you need the space, though, we've quoted out prices for 2 terabyte solid states and 4 terabyte solid states for the special. So it's we can get them as big as you want them. They cost a little bit, but we can get them that big. 866-496-8772. When you go to watch the Super Bowl, how are you going to do that today? Well, last year it was super complicated. The year before that, it was even worse. They were sending you to shady TV websites and things like that. Now it's pretty straightforward. CBS is using the Super Bowl to push subscriptions for their CBS All Access component. CBS All Access is kind of their subscription service. I actually am subscribed to it twice, and it's one of those things that's cheap enough that you forget to cancel the subscription, and then it's $5, and you're just like, oh, I got to get that done. And then all of a sudden, a day comes and you see $5 come out of your account again. And you're like, I got to get that done. So today I'm going to get that done. But basically, it's like $5 to $10 a month, depending on which options you take. And I got it because they have that new Star Trek show, and the only way you could watch that was if you had the CBS All Access. And it was a pretty good show, too. They're going to be having another season of that here soon. But you can sign up for a free trial of CBS All Access. It's a 1-week free trial. You can sign up the week of the Super Bowl, which is February 3rd. So you can sign up pretty much anytime now. And you can watch the Super Bowl on CBS All Access. Now, there's an app for smartphones. There's an app for Android and for iPhone that you have to download if you want to do it on your phone. But then you sign up and you use the app. Also, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can add CBS All Access as a channel on your Amazon and get it that way too. So if you have no rabbit ears, no connection to the outside world, but you have a smart TV, a phone, an iPad, you can watch the Super Bowl everywhere right now. Or, depending on your persuasion, you can watch the ads. 866-496-8772. Craig, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Yeah, hey, Thor. Great radio show and fantastic company you run, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what I got, like the 2014 holiday special, it came with a monitor, LED monitor.
Oh,
And this is a monitor question, okay? A real easy one probably for you. Used to boot up right with the computer when it turned on. Now there's a blue light that flashes. Goes from yellow to blue when it's trying to boot up. If it flashes, it stops flashing, and then the monitor works. But all this takes about 3, 4, 5 minutes before the damn thing comes on. Am I looking at a monitor that's going bad, and I better get prepared for a new one? You think?
Very possibly. The monitors do fail. Now, it's unusual for one to fail. I guess 3 years is 3 to 3 years is the manufacturer's expected failure rate. But we've seen them go a decade. Like some of the ones we have monitors on the wall in the Lincoln Service Center that we've had to retire because they only have VGA connections and the resolution wouldn't go high enough for current monitors, for current computers. So it wasn't that they died. We just had to retire them because they've been there for over 10 years. Basically the thing to do here is on the monitor itself, you should be able to activate the monitor independently of the computer. You should be able to power it off with the switch on the monitor.
Right.
And then turn it back on. If it's acting up, one of the first things, this is like Tech Support 101 from India. You unplug the power cord from the back of the device, you press the power button, it drains all the power out of the monitor, then you plug it back in again, and it should fire up just like it used to. If it doesn't, then it's probably going to be a bad monitor. Now, here's the other thing. If you have to power cycle it repeatedly, like every other day, it's definitely bad. It's just you're buying a little bit of extra time by power cycling it, and you should look at a new monitor. The good news, though, is even though that was a holiday special monitor, so it was a really, really high-end monitor at the time, does yours have the USB ports and the camera in it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
2014. No, I don't think it does.
And maybe that was 15, but after 20 years, they start to blend together. We've done actually 19 holiday specials, believe it or not. But the 1 year we had a camera and USB ports and everything built in. Those were super popular. Of course, we can't get them anymore. That's how it always goes. Same thing with the handle case. Super popular. Can't get it anymore. But basically, with the computer that you have there, try the power plug thing first. If that works, then we can go ahead and say, okay, well, it was just a fluke, and now it's okay. If it doesn't work or it keeps acting up, then we can try a new monitor and see if that resolves things for you.
So unplug it from the back of the monitor and then turn on the power and let it power cycle out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we want to drain it out. So you want to take out the power cord, not the data cord, just the power cord.
Now, when it does turn on, it looks perfect, like nothing's wrong, when it comes up after a few minutes. But I will try that.
And
are you coming up with?
What I'm wondering.
Not
on monitors right now, no. But what I'm wondering, and I'll put that in the hat though. We're looking for suggestions because we need 12 unique sales we've never done before. It's hard to come up with.
Suggestion.
But one thing that occurs to me is a 2014-15 holiday special is going to take a while to boot. I believe those had hybrid hard drives. They didn't have solid state drives, I think. So
I just brought mine in.
Oh, you just had the
480.
Oh, then it's not the computer. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be something with the monitor then. But try power cycling it first before you replace it. See if we can't save that money for you.
Thanks for all you do, man. I refer to all my friends. Okay.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it. You too. All right. Bye-bye. 866-496-8772. Mark, you're next up on the program. How can I help you on Compute This?
Hi, Thor. Great show.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about your 20th year anniversary Christmas special. I have probably an 8-year-old Dell laptop, and it's definitely starting to fail.
Okay.
But I'm on a very limited budget. That's why I'm waiting for the Christmas special. But I'm also physically handicapped, and I need to have touchscreen. Is that available on the Christmas special?
Yeah, almost all the holiday specials in the last, basically, that was one of the reasons we went with Dell this year, was it offered all the same. Dell makes a good laptop if you're willing to pay for it. The question, the problem most people have is they never get given the option to buy the good Dell. you always see like the $500 Dell or the $700 Dell, and they're junk. So what we did is we actually got the $1,500 Dell, and all of a sudden you've got touchscreen, 2-in-1 hinges, backlit keyboard, all these things you'd see normally in a gaming computer. So yes, to answer your question, the last 2 holiday special laptops have had touchscreens, and we're going to get to the point eventually where everything has a touchscreen. A lot of our customers don't want the touchscreen in the regular laptops, they won't use it, so they don't want to pay for it, basically. And we totally understand that, but the holiday special has for the last 2 years had a touchscreen.
Great. Thanks.
No worries. Have a great afternoon. 866-496-8772. Malvertising campaign targets Apple users with malicious code hidden in images. We're okay on breaks, right, Roger? I took one early, didn't I? I got to take one more. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back from the break, we're going to tell you if you're using an Apple computer, what you need to look out for. Well, you look out for the ads. What you need to look out for so you don't get your computer infected, because yes, Apple computers can get infected with viruses, and they're actually sold on the black market at a premium. And we're going to tell you what's going on with that coming up next on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, this just in. For those of you like Mark who are counting the days until the next holiday special, there are 47 weeks before Christmas, 332 days, but we usually launch the holiday special in November. So actually, you only have to wait about 300 days for the next holiday special. So there you go. So, Mark, just a little bit of time to wait there. Don't hold your breath, though. We want you to make it all the way through. 866-496-8772. All right. So, malvertising campaign targets Apple users. I just posted a link to this as well if you want to get into the nitty-gritty on facebook.com/Schrock Innovations in the show notes here. But Apple users can continue to be some of the favorite targets of malvertising campaigns. This report that's out describes a new malvertising group called the Very Mal. No, it sounds so pleasant. They've been going after Apple users with the latest campaigns employing stenography techniques to hide code inside of ad images to avoid detection. So stenography is where you hide a piece of code or data inside a picture. This was all new in the Osama bin Laden terrorist era, where bad guys would get into chat rooms and they'd send each other memes back and forth. And to the casual user, it just looks like memes. They're just pictures with words on them. And the words are innocuous, whatever. But inside the picture, if you parse it in just such a certain way, there's actually a hidden message there or code. In this case, computer code that can infect your computer. Now, they said that Apple users continue to be the favorite targets. It's because most Apple users do not run antivirus software because they've been told for years by Apple that their computers are impervious to viruses. They are not. They are just as vulnerable as any other computer. In fact, the gain in users of Apple computers caused them to be even more vulnerable. In the past, when it was only 1% of the computing population, nobody attacked Apple because there was no point in wasting your money to build an attack to attack 1%. They get close to 10%, and they're 10% of your high earners. These are people with money in the bank mostly. Then, yeah, that's because they're spending $5,000 on a laptop, right? So we're going to attack those people. All right. The report comes after this company discovered a different malvertising group last year named Scam Club, which targeted exclusively your Apple users. All right. So the efforts here, according to the report, this is how the most recent very mal advertising effort unfolded. One, an ad slot on a legitimate website loads an image. So you're on Fox News, CNN, the Omaha World Herald, whatever. There's an ad for an online advertisement there. It loads an image. The image contains code hidden inside some of its pixel values, and the ad also loads some JavaScript. The JavaScript checks to see if Apple fonts are supported. If it is an Apple device, first of all, they have to eliminate those who are not. JavaScript code reveals that the image reads the image file and extracts the hidden code. The JavaScript then runs the code. The extracted code is a command that forces the computer to navigate to a new website. The user is bounced around through different subsequent websites until you land on a page showing pop-ups that urge you to install software updates, usually for Adobe Flash Player. This is nothing new to PC users. We've been getting hit with this for years. That's why we built Secure Updater for PC users, so that when you got something on your screen that pops up and says you have to update your Flash Player, you know it's fake because Secure Updater is doing those updates for you. It's been tracking the group and its campaigns, usually which run in short bursts for a few days since August of last year. According to Malwarebytes, the tainted software updates contained a version of a particular Mac malware strain that is commonly used. It's been around since 2018 in February. So basically, they don't always use stenography, but that's the latest push. So you can't see the code, but the code is there. So heads up, Apple users. If you're looking for a good smartphone on a budget, of course, Samsung is going to be releasing their Galaxy their S10 soon. The A9 Pro is also going to be released. It's got 3 cameras and a whole bunch of the new features, but basically this is an admission that people are no longer willing to pay huge amounts of money to get the best features in a phone. So Samsung is going to put some of their best features in a cheaper phone and see if that's well received. So watch out for the Galaxy A9 Pro. All right, today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate is Ron. Congratulations, Ron. Ariel will get that certificate out to you here on Monday. Okay, I was like 30. What's 30? Oh, 30 seconds. 30. Oh, come on, that's an eternity. I show up 30 seconds before a TV segment and they're freaking out, right? I'm like, at the radio station, if I sit down 10 seconds before I go on, I'm a winner. See, I still have 15 seconds. 15, there you go. All right, guys. Watch Tech Tuesdays this Tuesday around the 11 o'clock hour on Channel 8 News in Lincoln, and we'll be back next Sunday for another edition of Compute This, and I have 3 seconds. I'm just going to give it up.
From the Millard Roofing Studios, we've got you covered. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, an iHeart radio station.
Back to normal? Not quite yet. I'm Jane Metzler.